Welcome to Financial Investing Radio, where you'll learn the secrets for consistent, high-probability returns in the financial markets for additional income to change your life. Grant applies consistent, high-probability trading systems for the financial markets. He's only recently started sharing these tried and true market secrets. As a gift to listeners, Grant is offering his roadmap to high-probability financial control. Go to financialinvestingradio.com and download yours today. Now, here's your host and trading veteran, Grant Larson.
More ice cream, please. Hey, this is Grant Larson. Welcome, everybody. So many years ago, one of our daughters was very much in love. Turns out she was in love with ice cream. And she put every effort in place to actually get more ice cream. Complex strategies were implemented, by her to acquire ice cream more and more. So this began to affect her eating at dinner time, of course, right? And she would try to get access to the ice cream before dinner. This all came to a head one evening as we had just finished dinner, and some people in the family decided, hey, let's have some ice cream for dessert. Now, one of these people was our ice cream loving daughter. So she began to fill up her ice cream bowl. My wife and I are looking at each other thinking, how are we going to help her through this? Anyway, as the family was eating the ice cream, it became evident that this ice cream loving daughter was not eating her ice cream. And at that point, I made a statement I never thought would come out of my mouth. I looked at her and I said, young lady, if you're going to take all that ice cream, I'm going to ask you to finish it. She looked at me and with tears in her eyes, she cried out, Daddy, I don't want to finish my ice cream. So she had maxed out on ice cream and she had hit the limit, and she's had it under control ever since. Now, sometimes our financial cravings can have the same effect on us, right? We may feel a desire to binge on certain quote-unquote financial foods, right? It might be using our credit card, or it may be spending on restaurants, right? Or spending on clothing we can't afford, or whatever it is, right? For some time, it can taste so good. But, much like our ice cream loving daughter, it can get to a point where it's not sustainable and our financial picture crumbles. We can also make those kinds of mistakes in our investing and trading, or how we allocate money in our budget. Wherever we are in our financial journey, having the ability to control our financial appetite, right, can make the difference between satisfaction in our life and painful disappointment. Now, some of it has to do with reaching the point where we are satiated, to stay with the food metaphor. So when we eat food, right, we get to a point where our brain says, I am full, right? I am satisfied. And part of the trick to making these eating adjustments in our lives deals with helping our brain to declare we are satiated or satisfied sooner rather than later. Or that we can be satisfied by eating healthy things rather than things that are not healthy for us. So it doesn't even have to be a quantity thing. It has to be more of eating the right kinds of things. All right, well, so to be emotionally satiated or satisfied financially, there are certainly some similarities. So finding the point where we can find satisfaction in how we deal with money is critical, right? How we spend it, how we save it. So for example, sometimes we may feel full or satisfied financially when we have the shopping bag in our hand, right, as we leave the store. Or for other cases, right, we may feel full or satisfied financially when we've saved money for the first time in a long time. Or perhaps it means we've been able to be in a position to provide some assistance to someone. So there's many different points where we can feel the financial satisfaction in our life. Now, a key tip here is to identify what gives us the emotional financial satisfaction. And to be honest with ourselves in that introspection, right? So doing this exercise can really give each of us some insights on our current relationship with money and help us to determine what some of our next steps can be. Much like our daughter eating the ice cream, too much ice cream, there's a point where she obviously had to work on that to overcome that. Same with our financial challenges as well, right? We gotta be honest with ourselves on what is it that is giving us our financial satisfaction. And sometimes, like eating too much ice cream, it's not good for us, right? Other times, it may be a very appropriate thing, and so we have to know just where we are on that journey. So for me, I love mint chocolate chip ice cream. Love it. But, I don't eat it very often. But there's a time when I couldn't get enough of the A&W root beer shake. Did any of you ever have one of those? I think it's basically like a root beer float, I think, but rather they just mix it all up and make it a shake. I don't know how they did it, but boy, was it good. Thinking back on that still makes me quiver. Anyway, I had to get that under control too. So who knows where my daughter got this from? I don't know. Anyway, wherever you are in the financial path, enjoy the journey. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, let me know what your favorite ice cream is.
Thank you for joining Grant on Financial Investing Radio. Remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Don't forget to download your free roadmap to high probability financial control before you make an investment decision. Visit financialinvestingradio.com now.